Hi, Shania. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
So before we get started, I just wanted to go over confidentiality again. We go over this every other week.
Yep.
So just so you know, everything that is said in the room stays in the room, unless is something that if you're going to harm yourself or harm anyone else, then I have the duty to report to somebody else.
Right.
Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So we're going to get started off here. I know you only have a couple weeks left of school.
Yay.
So how are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling really good about being done, but it's like crunch time, so it's still stressful.
Yeah. It's stressful because there's so many assignments going on, or?
Yeah, and it's coming up to the time where I'm almost done and I have to enter the profession, and I don't know where I'm going.
Yeah, this can be a super overwhelming time. So like on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being like you know exactly where you want to go, and 1 being you have no idea, and then 5 being in the middle.
Okay.
Where would you rate yourself with knowing where you want to go after you're done school?
I think like I have kind of an idea, but I'm not like for sure. So I think I'm gonna rate myself in the middle.
In the middle?
Around the 5, yeah.
Okay. So, so you're kind of like, you know where you want to go, like have an idea of where you want to go, but like you still don't actually know?
Yeah, like I know I want to work in the helping field, and I believe that this program has been very beneficial for me, and I know that I want to work with children and youth. I just don't know like what environment I want to work in because there's so many options. I don't know where I'll fit best.
Okay, so why don't we start off with what placements you have done already?
Sure.
So what ones have you done already?
So I did a residential placement, so in a group home.
Okay.
So that was with young ladies ages like 13 to 18. That was like my shorter placement, but it was for sure eye-opening.
Mm-hmm.
And then my second placement was with the same agency, so Monami Children's Services.
Okay.
And with their clinical manager.
Okay.
So I kind of got 2 different sides of the CYC, worked through those,
Yep.
which was definitely eye-opening.
And you also work in the group home, right?
Yes, I
Okay.
do.
Okay. So do you see yourself wanting to do that long term?
No.
No?
I thought that was my end goal when I first entered the program, or not when I first entered the program, but like throughout my first year. But now that I've done like my placement there and I've worked there, it's good experience, and I like working there, but it's not my end goal anymore.
Okay. So why don't we go through like the pros and cons of it? Maybe that can help you out.
Sure.
There's like, what are the cons of it? Sort
Of working in a residential?
Yeah.
Well, I think like within this field, like if you don't take care of yourself, burnout is common. But like in residential, like in the group home setting, I feel like it's more likely to occur if you don't take care of yourself. So I think that's a con.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because you're with the kids every day and you're living their life with them, and it's like it can be hard to separate yourself from that. So
yeah, and because you're in their space, it's a lot different than being like in a school, because like you're in their space, living with them basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like you grow to like love the kids that you work with, so
because you build those stronger connections with them with living in the home, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's not like a bad thing, but I feel like it's more apt to happen that burnout may occur.
Yeah, and it makes complete sense, and it depends on the person, like the type of person you are really, of whether, like how fast burnout can happen and stuff like that. So it's very good to know, realize what your boundaries are with that, and like how you also self-care to like prevent the burnout from happening. Are there any other cons for residential care?
I think that's probably the environment where containments are more likely to happen as well, which is always the last intervention to act on, but I would prefer not to complete containment. They're needed because when you use them, it's to keep individuals safe.
Yeah.
So they're definitely needed, but I don't think that's. I prefer not to do restraints.
Yeah. So from what I'm hearing, you say is that like so you don't prefer to do restraints. Is that because like you don't enjoy seeing them in those crisis situations, and then you have to like control it yourself? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so yeah, I'm really glad that you have like these boundaries that way. So like where are some places like that would have less burnout and like less containments?
I would say schools.
What about a hospital? Do you think they would have less, or?
Probably. And like their procedures and policies are different too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a whole ton about like the hospitals yet, but yeah, I'm not sure what their policies.
I think with the hospitals, I feel like burnout and containment still probably happen.
Yes.
And burnout can also be easy to get from a hospital as well. But I think from just the knowledge that I have heard from previous people who have worked there, it's a different type because you're working with different type of things. I feel like hospital is more based on like the mental health aspect of it,
mm-hmm.
rather than behavior at a group home.
Mm-hmm.
So would you ever consider being in a school?
The school is somewhere that I've always said no. But when I was working throughout the summer, I did a couple school shifts, and I did enjoy it. So there's a possibility, but I'm still kind of like, no. I don't know why, but I'm just like, I'm absolutely not working in a school, even though like I did enjoy it, and I don't know why.
So what didn't you enjoy about it?
I think with the school, I'm just more scared that I'm going to be placed as an EA, which EAs are wonderful, and they definitely have a special place to work with kids, but I want to work with behaviors in the CYC role.
Okay. So you want to work with behaviors.
Yes.
More than with like academic stuff?
Yes. Absolutely.
Which makes sense. Not a lot of people want to work with more school. So what did you like about the school though? When you were there?
It's more structured.
Okay.
You always have other professionals to like rely on, like to work with as a team. Like you know that you have like team members there.
Yeah.
Not that you don't in residential, but like sometimes you're there at the house by yourself, or you're out in the community by yourself. You always have someone within the building with you.
So would you say that in the school, because of there's lots of different support workers, whether they're teachers or other support workers in the school, you feel more safe in the school?
Probably,
Yeah. Just because you have more people to contact when if something were to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So would you say safety is another concern when you're working in group homes?
At times, for sure.
At times?
Yes. Yeah. For sure.
And now is that because of the lack of workers that are on duty?
I mean, who you work with definitely affects how your shift goes and how the evening goes. I don't know. What was that? Can you
Repeat the question? Yeah. So I was just asking if like the safety aspect, because you talked about how being in a school there's lots of people, so you feel like you have the feeling of being more safe and like there's always someone there to like go to if you need somebody. Whereas in the group home you're talking about how there maybe you're in the house alone with the kids, or there may be another worker. So does that because of the safety concern of there not being as many people, is that like another reason why you don't want to be in the group home long term?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah? Okay. Which makes a lot of sense because our safety is always first, and we want to make sure that we're always safe. And like I can see that you do like working in group homes. It's just may not be just for more. You're getting it for more experience rather than for a long-term goal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I like supporting children and youth through difficult situations and crisis situations, but and I still like that still might be somewhere where I end up just not in the group home setting.
Now,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Have you ever considered like working in because I know you aren't too keen about the school system, but you like how it's structured and there's lots of people around. Have you ever thought about working with like the LLS classrooms, or like those classrooms that have like more behaviors in them, because you talked about that you want to work with behaviors?
Yeah. I thought about it. I don't really want to.
No?
No.
And do you want to maybe elaborate on why that you wouldn't want to?
My passion is to work with children and youth who have had a difficult background. So trauma, kids who have been neglected or abused, more so than the developmental aspects.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
that's just like my passion.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where I fit best rather than in the other setting.
Well, when you're in a school, you may still be working with those behaviors, but you're focusing on the behaviors within the school. Whereas when you're like in a group home, you're working with their daily life skills rather than just being in a school and how to like be socially acceptable in a classroom and learn in the classroom. So like it makes sense. Excuse me. So let's focus on the hospitals now, because from what I'm getting, a school is not somewhere you want to be, but like isn't it potential like somewhere that you could try and like be there every now and then, right?
Yeah.
So what about hospitals do you like?
I've never been in a hospital, so like I was going to attempt to do a placement there to see the environment of the hospital setting. So like I I don't really know what to say about what I like with the hospital because I haven't really been in the hospital setting much. Yeah.
So,
I'm very, like, flexible and I like to try new things. I feel like this field is good for me because there's so many different environments and you can, like, change things up. Because I don't want to use the word bored, but, like, I guess the word is bored. I get bored and I like to change things up, so this field allows me to do that and try other things.
So from what I'm getting from what you said, like you like something that's not going to be the same every single day.
Yes.
Okay. So I want to move on.
Whereas that's another thing, sorry.
That's okay. Keep going.
For the school, I feel like a lot of the days are, like, very similar.
Yeah, which it makes sense. A school is somewhere where it's for some people and not for others.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
It's really good that you have that clear boundary that is not an area you want to be.
Yeah.
And like the reasons why you want to be there and like the reasons why you don't want to be there, which I think the reasons that you don't want to be there overpower the reasons why it could be okay.
Yeah.